Welcome to the Podbean door.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Podbean door. You can join us every Tuesday for info and opinions on the newest tech, movies, games, and, of course, insider information, history, and maybe even some crazy secrets about our home, Las Vegas, Nevada. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. You can find us on iTunes podcasts at the Podbean door. Our YouTube channel is the Podbean door podcast, or find us on any of your favorite podcast apps. If you like subscribing to things and clicking buttons, then look for us on iTunes, YouTube, or just scroll down and have a click. This is Jamie. Today we have a mini episode for you due to the fact that the production crew and I have started photographing and filming a very large conference in town known as JCK. JCK, which actually stands for Jewelers Circular Keystone, is the largest gathering of jewelers and jewelry-related items in the world. And we have the pleasure over the week to capture all of the goings-on, including panels, social networking, fashion shows, and even jewelry podcasts. In fact, the Concierge Chronicle this week features a description of what we feel are the 5 most interesting conferences in Las Vegas that we cover. Number 1, of course, as mentioned, is JCK. Basically, it's Cartier meets Hello Kitty. It's an amazing mixture of everything from high-end jewelry and jewelry-related items to all the foreign contingents that come in town. And yes, some of those do happen to be knockoffs, I believe. Costume, jewelry, everything, including even jewelry boxes and stands and display items. And a really cool section, which actually I tasked some of my guys to do as I left for the podcast, is called the Science and Technology area, which is basically everything related to jewelry as it regards the cutting of them, cutting of diamonds, the polishing of diamonds, figuring out the 4 C's, and then gloves that the diamond cutters use, and hammers, and almost anything you can think of that is more of a hardware than a software or the diamonds themselves. The second most interesting conference of the 5 is a fun one, but it can be troublesome as well. It's called the Nightclub and Bar. It's actually also a really good portion for us to do the topless report, because many times, although this isn't allowed or legal inside the conference centers, many times some of the girls that are attending the booths, sometimes they're called booth babes, they do take their tops off for the men that are attending, just to make it just a little bit more special. Some of the things you'll see there, of course, this is all alcohol-related, bar-related. You'll see everything from stemware to Jack Daniels and all the new vodkas and flavored drinks that are coming down the pike. And all the bar owners and casino owners and everybody attends that are interested in seeing what is going to go on for the next year within that industry. You'll see really fun things like the alcohol or vodka luges, where they pour alcohol down an ice sculpture, and the person on the other end enjoys that either in a glass or straight out of the luge itself. And of course, you can't make a right, left, or any other turn without hitting someone that's giving away Jell-O shots. The troublesome part about this particular conference is that it does tend to have people leave very inebriated. So there are cabs, Ubers, and Lyfts ready to go after this one for sure. The next one, of course, is CES, the world's largest electronic conference, and I'm sure everybody listening has a little experience with this, at least on the news reports and tech reports and things. Anything and everything that's electronic comes out during CES. New televisions, new tech, new everything. So you'll see everybody from Apple and Hewlett-Packard all the way down to the brand new startups that are trying to get some things out there to make our life easier and harder. Next, we have the UFC. UFC is a part of a larger group of conferences run by a corporate company that does that for Las Vegas. But UFC, it's exactly what it is. It's a conference that involves all things MMA and UFC related. So all of your favorite fighters come, and all the favorite ring girls, and they have all the equipment and Everlast and everything that's involved in that. And some of the MMA stars even come out. You might even see Mr. Joe Rogan, I'm sure, has attended several times. But that's definitely a fun one. And, of course, lastly, and the most interesting one for sure, is the AVN, which stands for the Adult Video News. Actually, there's an A on that sometimes, the AVNA, which is the Adult Video News Awards. And again, this is exactly what it sounds like. It is the industry of adult films and erotica, and it brings out all the people that love to be involved in that, all the stars, men and women, all of the adult toy makers, of course, are there, and all of the producers of films come. Plus, they have what is, in their industry, the Academy Awards. And so all the people that had the best movies, the best scenes, the best hairdo, that's given an award, and it's quite a scene. But honestly, they're a great bunch of folks, and for Las Vegas townies, they are they're great to have here because they're not stiff, so to speak, and they're good about tipping. They're good about having fun. They're very respectful. It's a giant industry, and of course, Las Vegas is indeed a part of that. But again, those are our 5 most interesting conferences in Las Vegas that we like to cover. But of course, that's just a smattering of them. So I'm sure as you do some research, and we'll of course help you with finding all the conferences that you might be interested in. Next, we are going to go to Area 52. I got one for you. It is about sharks. Even though we're landlocked, I've got a great, interesting place for you to visit here. Did you know you can watch sharks feed in Las Vegas? Yes. Although we're landlocked here in Sin City, we find ways to pull off most anything. In this case, Mandalay Bay Resort, which actually is where the guys and I are right now. And that's where the JCK conference is happening. But inside is a place called the Shark Reef. And Shark Reef is a great place for families to go, kids of all ages. You can watch sharks feed. You can see things from the Galapagos Islands and hundreds of different species of animals and fish. And you can go see them daily feed the sharks, and it's a bit small, but it's nothing like SeaWorld used to be and the Monterey Bay Aquarium. But for Las Vegas, it's quite impressive, and it is right there in the middle of the desert. You can see sharks feeding right there. So again, folks, thank you for bearing with us for a short episode. We are going to have a full one coming up on next Tuesday. One of our guests coming up, I think you'll find interesting, is one of Adam's friends, and she is going to tell us what it's like to be the general manager of a movie theater on Las Vegas Boulevard. Yes, if you guys didn't know, there is a full movie theater on Las Vegas Boulevard. You can see a movie right there on the Strip, if that's something you want to do instead of all the other fun stuff. But I'm sure she is going to have some fantastic stories, probably some shocking ones too. So please tune back in with the Pod Bay Door next Tuesday, and we'll have that all ready for you. Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. We really appreciate if you have some time to do that for us. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. Pod Bay Door is closed, and this talent is out. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.